people. Thank you guys so much for coming to the Walking Dead panel for season 2. Please give yourselves a round of applause for waiting in line as long as you did. I saw the bottleneck out there. Like hours ago, people were like, "Get into Walking Dead." So you guys made it in. That makes you slightly better than everyone else. But without further ado, I want to thank you for coming. Let's just get the producers out here first. We'll talk. Maybe we'll have some surprises. Then we'll talk to the cast. We'll ask a few questions, and everyone will hug, and that'll be great. So please welcome to the stage, first of all, Walking Dead creator Robert Kirkman. Also like to welcome to the stage executive producer Galen Hurd. And co-executive producer and special effects ninja Greg Nicotero. Take off my dumb Fonzie jacket. Hey. Guys, it's good to see you again. We did this at San Diego. It was a lot of fun. But now you're well into season 2. And so just how's the experience been so far?
It's been awesome.
Yeah?
No, it's been a lot of fun. It's been great to get back to work on the show, and also coming back after having such a tremendously successful first season has been great, just knowing that everyone's interested and the fans are out there, and we've really just been working really hard to make sure that we deliver.
We've actually lured Robert from Kentucky to the wilds of Los Angeles so that he can participate in the writers' room every day and help craft the entire season.
Greg Robert against his will to live in Los Angeles. Greg, how's it been for you so far?
It's been great. It's been great. It's funny, Robert's in LA, we're in Atlanta. Everybody's sort of all over the place, but I'll tell you, it's been amazing. We're about to start shooting our 11th or 12th episode. We have 4 more weeks. We just realized today 100 days of shooting. Wow. This season, and I can't wait for you guys to see it because it rocks.
So what was sort of the transition in terms of the first thing is you get 6 episodes, now 13. They're gonna air 7 episodes starting tomorrow, you guys. 7 episodes and a little bit of a break, and then in February we're gonna get the last 6. Did you really feel like you can take this one at a time? You just had more room to breathe and more story to cram in from the books?
Yeah, I mean, this show really it's all about character development and getting to know our characters and then doing horrible things to them. And being able to, go in depth on that and tell a bigger story and a longer story is really a lot of fun, and I think it's making for a pretty awesome season of television.
Yeah.
The first season we had to introduce the world. We got to see Rick and explore the world through his eyes, reunite with his family. We really didn't get that much time to get to know the rest of the cast. So we have that opportunity now. And we also have an opportunity for this very sick and twisted man sitting next to me to give us zombie stuff that you've never seen before. And not only that, Greg, in addition to directing the webisodes that I hope you guys have all seen on TWDTV.com, he just directed an episode that finished shooting on Thursday.
It was amazing. I mean, having the cast, I've been in the trenches with them every single day, being on set last season and this season, and knowing their characters as well as I know them, and watching them bring them to life. I did a scene with I did a scene with Jeff DeMont and Laurie Holden, and it literally we're in the RV, the camera's there, and it really felt like I had been transported into that world. I was watching Andrew and Dale talking. It was an amazing experience. I got, this season, every one of these characters gets to do some great stuff. Norman Reedus gets to do great stuff. John Bernthal gets to do great stuff. Chandler Riggs, everybody, all the actors really get a chance to stretch their wings because of the story arc and the storyline. So it was an honor to be able to work with them.
I mean, it really is amazing because I'm sure a lot of you have read the comics.
Thank you very much.
But there are so many moments like when you're reading the comic where you kind of have to stop and be like, holy crap, you know. But the stuff, the way that you give it the dimension, you know, with the effects. I mean, it brings the show to a level that my imagination didn't even go.
And I still read them and go, holy crap! Like on the way back from San Diego, I was reading like that guy's twisted. I don't think of all this crazy stuff. We just get to like make the creepy grinning zombie.
Doesn't it like Kirkman? You just have this Rick Grimes doll in your house, and you just jam pins into it a little bit more each time. Like, what can we do with this guy now?
I've said it before, I'll say it again, I have issues. And I'm doing my best to work them out in the comic, as opposed to being a maniac in real life. I mean,
yeah.
Isn't that what you prefer?
That's what it should be. That's what you have in this world. But so do you really feel like we're going to get to see more of that this season of people slowly, you know, kind of becoming more unhinged and come to grips with the world that they're in?
Well, definitely, we're going to be doing that. I mean, I don't know, I like to say that, we're really pushing boundaries on this show, and all the crazy stuff that you think you saw in the first season, like, I can say in every instance we're doing something bigger and better than that in this season, and Greg has really been kicking ass, if I can say that.
I don't think you can say that.
Okay, then I won't. Just doing an amazing job bringing it all to life, and I don't know why AMC lets us do this stuff, because it's crazy.
Robert, don't tell them.
I have some video on my phone that I show people sometimes that'll just blow you away. So see me after the panel. Don't see me after the panel.
Yeah, see Robert after the panel. He'll show you the video.
How many people are here? 10? 13? I can't.
No, they cheat. You know what? You should just text him 310. He loves those questions. But I know that there's a lot of speculation. I mean, the thing that I love about the fact that there's sort of the comic universe of the show and then the television universe of the show is that there are touch points that are similar, but I get to experience these characters in a whole new way with kind of like different storylines almost. So I guess is that fun for you to explore these two worlds and jumping back and forth and?
Yeah, that's absolutely awesome for me. I mean, one of my favorite things about this second season is that John Bernthal's character Shane is still alive in the show, and in the comic book series. We're doing a lot of Herschel's Farm stuff, which is from the second volume of the comic book series in this season. And anyone who's familiar with the book will know that Shane wasn't dead by then in the comic. And so just being able to come in and adapt those stories, but do it in such a different way and watch how his character existing in this world changes those storylines and makes them richer and adds different little levels of things throughout is just, it's really awesome. It's a lot of fun for me just because I've told these stories a long time ago and I've forgotten most of them. And so being able to come in and do things in a little different way is a lot of fun. And it's also great to just be able to play with people's expectations. And a lot of you guys are comic fans, and when you watch this show, we want to be surprising and shocking you as well. And so we're working really hard to make sure that we do that, and I think we pull it off quite a bit.
Yeah, because I think another testament to this, and it's like another marker that the show is blown up, probably bigger than you would have expected, is hearing people, ever since we announced the Talking Dead show, people are now emailing me about Walking Dead and saying, I heard this.
Are you plugging your show now?
Yeah, what's the problem with that? What's the problem with plugging my show that's going to air after the rerun of Walking Dead tomorrow night called Talking Dead and after show for The Walking Dead? I don't know, I'm just like... Is that a plug? Is that a personal plug? But people, with conspiracy theories and trying to figure out where the story's going and seeing what's coming up next, is there one that you've heard that's like, come on, really? What are some of the more ridiculous ones?
What do you think, Gail? We got any crazy conspiracy theories out there that you remember?
Well, there was the nuclear holocaust theory.
I haven't heard that one.
The zombie nuclear holocaust.
Oh yeah, well, if you get zombies, like clear technology.
There's a good one out there about Merle possibly ending up being the governor. I think we're hearing a lot of that.
Oh, Merle's the governor? Yeah, I heard that
He's
too.
definitely not.
Well, one guy was convinced. I'm so glad you said that because one guy was like, bro, Merle's the governor. I'm just saying. I'm like, well, now you're not. Because this guy just said it's not going to happen. But we actually have some footage from season 2. Never seen before by most of the people in the world. So
Just by zombies.
just by zombie. Yeah, that is amazing.
You know
amazing
what?
work.
We wish that we'd had all of you at the premiere. You're the audience we want to watch this with.
And when we were watching it at the theater in Los Angeles, I was like, this isn't a television show. We're watching a movie, you know? Like, we're getting 13 movies, basically. But the fact that, you know, your makeup effects, they're that close on a giant screen, and they are stunning.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, you won the Emmy.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Very well deserved.
Well, you know, I mean, again, any great project like this, you have great actors that bring those characters to life. You know, a lot of our zombie performers we brought back over and over again because they bring the makeup to life. And every single day we go to set with our zombies and the cast still will come up and go, how did you do that one? Where's the guy's teeth? And where, you know, they will come and the actors will come and study the makeup, and they're still afraid of it. If they're afraid of them, then it comes through when you get a chance to perform with them like that sequence. And we shot that. That took about 4 days to shoot that sequence. We had 150 zombies per day. And you know, listen, the crew that we had, the production design team, the costumes and everything, you know, that whole area where they had to set up all the cars, we shut down a real section of freeway in Atlanta. And
that part wasn't a problem.
There was not like 500 news helicopters circling going, there's Walking Dead, you know, they blamed it on us. If there's traffic, it's the zombies' fault.
Right.
But, you know, they had to bring all those wrecked cars in and line everything up, and, you know, it's just, it's a testament to the crew that we have on the show, and the writing, and you know, listen, hearing you guys scream when T-Dog slashes his arm, I mean, I'm looking at it like, oh, there's a tube and there's blood, I'm looking at it. I remember, yeah, we were pumping the blood. But, you know, when you guys scream, that's the reward that we get. It's really amazing.
Well, honestly, when you see the episode, the performances this season are incredible. And I think we should talk to some of these people who are delivering these performances. So, playing Shane, John Bernthal! And Lori Holden! Playing Glenn, Stephen Young! Returning this season, Matt and Lauren Cohan! As Carl Chandler Riggs! I'm playing Daryl, Mr. Norman Reedus! Everyone, wait, turn the video on again, Steve. Everyone at once saying hi, Steve. You want to get a video of everyone saying hi, Steve, on your phone? What? Never mind. You want to? Yeah, that would be awesome. That was like 4,000 people or something. So everyone at once, hi Steve. 1, 2, 3.
Hi, Steve! Okay. There. Everybody, you ready? 1, 2, 3. Stephen Young sucks. Go ahead. 1, 2, 3. Stephen Young sucks!
Wow. Oh, I don't know what happened.
The battery just died. It's weird.
Oh, that iPhone 4. I'm trying to make a phone call this weekend. Good luck! All right. Anyway, you guys, again, I just have to say the performances have been amazing. The first episode is incredible, and you guys, if I had a hat, I would take it off to you. I'm gonna go get a hat after this. But how's it been? I mean, like, it's every day for you guys is so incredibly emotional. What is a typical day like for you, John? Let's start with you.
It's good to see all you guys again, and thanks for your support. We love the show as much as you guys do, and we really love each other. And I'm not just being a douchey actor who says how much we love each other. We do, and I can't tell you how much it means to us to have your support and for you guys to scream the way you do and you to be into it the way you are, because we love this show with all our hearts. So thank you guys so much. We work hard. We work hard and we sweat a lot, but we couldn't be happier. It's the job of a lifetime, and we know how lucky we are to be here. So thank you.
A little behind the scenes. Like what was that scene like for you? Like trying to put the gun back together, guy crashes one away.
I dislocated 4 ribs during that scene. So, but
Workman's comp. You can make a pile.
But it's kind of cool because it's kind of like the stripes on Walking Dead.
Yeah.
That was my first big zombie kill, and I was all bruised, my ribs were all jacked up, and I just kind of felt like I earned my day's work.
Yeah. Did you have to apologize to that guy when you drove a screwdriver in his eye hole?
Well, I was like, you can't talk to me. He was so sweet. He was the sweetest guy, and he was wearing Ray-Bans, smoking a cigarette. He'd like seen all the work I'd done prior to Walking Dead, and he was just like so cute. And I'm like, dude, like I can't talk to you because you're so sweet, you know, because I was terrified of you in like 5 seconds. But you know what? All of the zombies on our show are so amazing. You know, they all went to zombie school. But they're like, it's like a dance. I mean, if they're not fantastic, then you can't sell the fear of the show. And it's not just the brilliant special effect makeup that Greg does. It's their performance. You know, they really get into it, and they make our jobs easier because they're friggin' unbelievably scary.
I mean, when you said zombie school, people laugh like, yeah, zombie school, but there really is a zombie school. There really is to learn how to.
They walk and talk and turn in a chair.
Just like that.
The zombies don't actually talk on our show.
Yeah.
What's my motivation? You're dead. All right, all right. Steve, I think this is going to be a big season for Glenn too, because Glenn. All I've seen is the first episode, but I know just like, throughout the story of the comic, Glenn's just this kind of like spry kid who ends up having to like grow up and become a man and become kind of a badass. So what are we looking forward to this season?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome to play Glenn because it's you identify with him because it's like, after the zombie apocalypse happens, you want to make your mark on the world. You want to be the hero. He wants to do the right thing and have everyone look up to him in a way. But then he does that kind of recklessly and without really thinking about valuing his life. But then you might meet people along the way, and you might strike up a conversation.
Glenn's got a girlfriend.
It's cool because you see another side of him, which is to reassess everything that he's known before in this reality, and it opens up the character, because if you find someone or something to love or anything to love, it's a great reason to live.
And that person could be.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
I don't know. Lauren Cohan, you're new this season. You play the character of Maggie. How was it? First of all, had you seen The Walking Dead before you auditioned for the show? Yeah.
And, oh my God! Seriously, this show has been so incredible. Like everything that I get to do as Maggie, every experience I get to have with these guys, it's just like, I don't know, it's super exciting. Story. Am I really far away from the phone? Hello? It's better, right?
There's some aggressive people in the back.
Yeah.
We don't have a problem hearing you, sir.
mean, I come on, I'm in the farm, I'm Maggie Green, Herschel's daughter, and Glenn and Maggie get to form this really beautiful, hopeful relationship, which I think gives, like Stephen says, these whole new questions to the characters on the show. I mean, for Glenn having someone that he cares about, and for Maggie too. I mean, it's first love for both of them that they experience in this, and it's nice to do that in a zombie show, especially when the stakes for the person you care about are so high, and you get to fight. And yeah, I mean, it's been right.
And was the experience anything that you possibly could have imagined coming? You're coming into a whirlwind, basically, like this, you know, the show, the first season, all of a sudden it's huge, and they kind of have it down, and then you come in, and they're already, you know, they have to teach you how to check for ticks in the forest, and...
Yeah, no, the tick experience, I knew it was it's great. I mean, it's just like jumping into the tornado. It really has been, and that's what Maggie gets to do when the group, when we see the group meet the farm, the green farm. So you really are just living in that experience, but the tick thing is another whole thing altogether. I mean, that's like, you hear the stories about the ticks and get so paranoid you start checking and forgetting you're rolling and you have your hands in your underwear and you're just like, oh my god.
It's the first place the tick will go, right in the underwear.
But yeah, I mean, it's been like, yeah, it's been crazy.
And also, Chandler Riggs, it's, man, you're amazing on the show, and you have such, it is so It's not like being a young actor on another show. Like Carl is forced to grow up like pretty quickly, and he's a really deep, intricate character in the comic series. So, I mean, how's this been for you as an actor?
Well, I mean, for me to just get to work with cats. I mean, to me that's gone. I mean, I literally. Because, I mean, these actors just get me so into them that they make my job so. No, I'm serious. But,
Are you 28? Do you have Benjamin Button disorder?
So, what I really like about Carl is that in the same series, I get to be two different characters. In the first season, I get to be this kid that's scared all the time in the background and keeping himself out of harm's way. And then in the second season, he evolves to a new level. He does the exact opposite. He puts himself in harm's way. He starts lying, he starts stealing, and I guess that's a really good advantage for acting, because you get to be two different people in the same series. And again, working with a great actor.
So, as the clearly smartest and most articulate person in the room, how do you, I mean, like, you know, how old are you, Jim?
I'm 12.
12. So how do you get to that place emotionally, you know, like when because you've got some intense stuff coming up.
I used to just think of my dog that I lived with my entire life dead. But now I think I've trained myself enough to where I can just cry on command.
You're gonna get 4,000 phone numbers. Norman Reedus, thank you for being here. First of all, I have to compliment the sketch that you and Steve did on the soup was hilarious. Did you guys see that? It was the zombie soup thing. You guys were really, really freaking funny. I want to start swearing, but I can't. There's an intelligent 12-year-old in the room. But how's this season been for you? Because we're definitely going to see a different side of Daryl this season.
Yeah, you know, the thing about Daryl is, I mean, he can protect you, he can survive on his own, but he can't really connect with you emotionally. So it's sort of a different vibe for Daryl. You know, I've been saying it, like Daryl's the type of guy that that he needs a hug, but if you try to hug him, he'll try to stab you. I'm sort of sticking to that one. But it's this second season, there's so many twists and turns with all of us that it's interesting to watch all of us.
It really is. I mean, I think, you know, most television shows don't deal with, you know, the kind of complex character arcs that you guys are experiencing. And I imagine, you know, when you showed up for the season, you really had no idea what to expect. So how's that been so far?
Yeah, I mean, they were nice enough, you know, to bring us into the writers' room before the season started. So we got the opportunity to talk about our characters and how they would react and relate to other characters in the show. So I know it's kind of like on a film, you get to go from here to here and you know where you're going, but on a television show you kind of don't know what's coming next. So if you can just plant a little seed of something you would like to happen and it's sort of headed in that direction, that's a bonus.
Yeah.
That makes any sense whatsoever.
Are there moments, and I guess we can just sort of go down one at a time, just, you know, are there moments this season that were so overwhelming that you were like, holy crap, I can't believe we're doing this, like that maybe stuff, whether it might make it into the show or not, John? Anything stick out in your mind?
You know, we don't know what will make it in or what won't. I think that it's amazing to me that we're allowed to kind of do whatever the heck we want as far as bashing and stabbing and slitting and blood and gore. And it's beautiful. I mean, I look at it now, what he does, it's art. It's not gross at all to me. It's beautiful. But when it comes to the sex stuff, you know, there's really strict rules. You know what I mean? So that part of it's always that part of it's always been weird for me. So there's things that, you know, I think as far as the sex stuff, I don't
Do not have unprotected sex with a zombie. I think
that's
we know that.
Yeah. But
Chandler, what's up, buddy? This cute face looking at me from down there. I'm like, uh-oh. What about for you, Lori? What's anything particularly stick out? Was that kind of your most memorable scene this season, or is there more intense stuff to come for you?
Oh, I'm just getting started. I can't give anything away.
I know. But how does it end?
That's my first. It's my first zombie kill. That's all I can say.
That's your
my
first?
of many.
Yeah. And Lori, too, like, your character, I mean, you guys were basically you and your sister were on a road trip when it started. Now, all of a sudden, you know, you have to become a soldier, basically. So where are you drawing from, like, when you go to work? Like, what stuff are you pulling from for Andrea?
You know, I mean, I'm thrilled with my character arc because, you know, it was exhausting being a sad sack that was suicidal all the time. A very necessary part of the story's telling. But I love the fact that she gets feisty and that she's like, I'm not going to be a victim and I'm not going to feel sorry for myself. And if I'm going to live in this world, I'm going to be strong. And she looks at the alpha males and says, okay, I'm going to learn this and this and take this and this. And, you know, she's determined to survive and be a leader. So, you know, I just feel exhilarated. The writing of the scripts is brilliant. I work with incredible people as Chandler. He's so sweet. I mean, he makes us better too. For real. So, you know, I think we're just inspired by each other, by the material, by what we're doing. You know, it's beautiful. It's gold storytelling.
Yeah. Steve, it's probably going to be a pretty physically challenging season, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's we bleed, you know, sweat and cry for the show, and you know, it's hard work, but it's so awesome, and it's lame to keep reiterating this point, but seriously, like, it's fun to come to work, not just because of the material, but because you get to work with your friends, and everyone wants to do such a good job that, you know, nobody's sandbagging, nobody's like, I think I'm gonna sit this take out, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, ever, you know, everyone's on every time, and it's a joy to work, and, you know, there might be times where you're sitting out, and it's open expanse, no cover, 100% humidity, 100 degrees, sun beating down on you, but, you know, people are just we're just doing what we gotta do every day, so it's a blast.
Just rotting meat in the hot Atlanta sun.
Oh, it's nasty. And you know, I was gonna say earlier about the stuff that we don't know if they can get in or not, but it's hilarious because Greg's team does stuff that is so gross that while we're shooting it, like I'll be like, people will be like, that's never gonna make it in. Like we're just shooting it for fun because it's just gross. Like that's never gonna make it in though. And then inevitably in the cut, it gets in somehow. So I don't know who is watching these and censoring them, but
Obviously nobody.
yeah, right. Like take the chips out of your hand and watch the show. Like, yeah, or don't. Right? Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, I think at this point, the bar has been set at a certain place, and if Andrea went to stab a zombie in the eye and then it cut away to like, technical difficulties, please stand by, like people would be furious. I mean, there's a certain, and actually that's a good question for Greg. Do you feel like, how do you constantly raise the bar when each episode there's a handful of like, holy crap moments?
Well, listen, I mean, you know what? I'm still a fan. I mean, I love the comic book just like you guys do, and I love the show. If I didn't work on it, I'd be really upset. I'm lucky to be working on it. But I'm still a fan. So I put stuff in there that knowing the pedigree of the George Romero movies that I've worked on and with Tom Savini and everyone that I've I put stuff in there that I want to see. And it just so happens everybody else wants to see it too, so it works out. But like the scene with Lori in the RV, we have multiple units shooting at the same time. We'll have main unit that'll shoot a lot of stuff, and then I'll go in with a second camera and I'll pick up inserts. And inevitably, I'm always picking up the stabbing and the blood and the close-ups and the gory bits. And it's pretty much I shoot whatever I want. If I want to see somebody get disemboweled or some guy get his nose bitten off something, if I want to shoot that stuff, I'll shoot it, and then they put it in because it's, I know the tone of the show, and I love that kind of stuff, and it just, they give me a lot of, they let me shoot whatever I want. I get to go shoot zombies, and then they put it in.
You're experimenting on zombies.
Yes, indeed.
Lauren, as the new person on the show, were you prepared for the intensity? Has you ever worked on anything this intense before?
No, I haven't. And I think the great thing about the show, too, is that you come on and I never knew television could feel so much like theater. Just in the extent that you're just watching. You know what I mean? Like, part of you is just so enjoying what everybody's doing, and that's just extremely exciting. I mean, even our sets, like the set that we shoot on for Herschel's Farm, which you guys will see, is incredible. I mean, it's just probably one of the most magical places I've ever been, and we get to live there and work there, and you have such a sense of the beautiful, happy memories that have come before all this apocalypse, and just everything about it is just the most extremely experiential. It's great.
Yeah. Chandler, are you probably are the coolest person in your friend group, I would imagine. I mean, all your friends must know, like, you're on, a cool show on television. How's that experience for you in your personal life? Like, to just, like, overnight, like, oh my God, Chandler Riggs, you're Walking Dead.
Well, I like keeping the same friends and having them not, like, say, oh my gosh, I'm best friends with Chandler Riggs, everybody. And, I mean, I like it when I'm normal. And, I mean, of course, I love you guys.
Oh yeah, he's not throwing you away, don't worry.
I just like it when my friends are normal. And, I mean, some of them don't even watch the show. But, I mean, I guess I'm the coolest kid.
Norman was paintballing all day.
Yeah, I took my son Mingus and 7 of his friends to paintball earlier, right before I came here. You see my shoes?
So wait, so Norman, who won paintball?
I shot the shit out of those idiots.
This is for Merle. Blam! I think we have time for a few questions from the audience, and I want to give what? Oh my God! Was that a surprise? Okay. Yeah, so push those girls out of the way. Show them who's boss. They got no chance.
Whoever wins the wrestling match asks the first question.
Sorry, ma'am. Great. Yes, we have time for a few questions. What's your name?
We have time for one.
Yeah, so what
basically is, would there be any different kind of zombies or any type of zombie evolution throughout the show?
Ooh, that's interesting. What do you think, Greg? What are we looking at? I mean, they're getting better. Believe it or not, like even though they look great in the first season, I have to say it's remarkable how much better they're looking in the second season as Greg and KMB like perfect their craft. As far as like story evolution of the zombies, I mean, I think they're kind of cool to begin with. So we're not going to be doing anything where they're getting smarter or weirder or growing chemicals out of their faces or anything like that. But I don't know. Anything, Greg?
What did you learn? What are some specific things you felt like you learned in terms of makeup effects from the first season to the second season?
Well, the bicycle girl in the first episode last year became our sort of iconic walker. And being able to take our cue from the graphic novel and seeing, hiring a lot of extras that really have great bone structure. And literally, I see a guy like, dude, he's big eyes. He'd be a great zombie, with sticky contact lenses. So there is an aesthetic choice that we pick for some of the featured zombies that I think look like the drawings in the comic book. I mean, we give them like this hair and then the CGI guys put flies flying around them.
You go over to the people in the grocery store and be like, "You'd be a good zombie."
Oh, we do that all the time. We'll be like at a bar and be like, "You'd be a great zombie."
Get in the van. What's your name, sir?
Hi, John.
Hi, John. What's your question?
I wanted to ask Greg if there were plans for more. This is New York, so it's going to be a little loud. If there are plans for more webisodes in the future, maybe if we'll get backstory on some of the other characters.
Listen, I hope so. I mean, the guy who wrote the webisodes is in the front row, John Esposito. And what was funny is that when the whole idea came up, instantly I knew exactly what story that I thought we should tell. Like the day they aired, I got emails from people all over the world sending me their backstories for every zombie in the first season. Everybody has backstories for all their zombies. I think the one thing was we couldn't really get into using any of the characters from the show because we have no idea where those characters will go from year to year. But I'm really, 3 million hits the webisodes got them all, so people really dug them, and I hope we do more.
Thank you.
For you, is that something that you ever envisioned to come? Like, the backstories of the zombies. I mean, is this like an extra fun thing to get to play with?
Well, I mean, it's very important in The Walking Dead that we always, keep in mind that, these are human beings. They are zombies and they are monsters and they're trying to eat people. But it's very important to just remember the tragedy of, the fact that they were once human, they were once our friends and neighbors, and now they're flesh-eating monsters. But before they were good people, and it makes it sadder, and it has a little bit more weight to it. So I'm always trying to keep in mind, little things about like who they might have been and stuff. But I don't go into that much detail as we did in the episode.
I saw a guy today who had a shirt that said, "Zombies are people too," and it says "were." Really funny t-shirt. Like, where'd you get that?
And then he was like, "Holy crap, you're getting material."
He's just looking right now.
Yeah, you can totally do it. Hi, what's your name?
Nikki.
Nikki, what's your question?
You actually took my question, so I'll say something.
Sit down, microphone.
Sorry.
I'll be first anyway.
Okay.
We know Daryl's weapon of choice is the crossbow. If the zombie apocalypse came here, what would be your weapons of choice? As you, not your characters.
Why is that creating a hubbub? That is a question we have all.
Me and my friends play it all the time.
Yeah. All right, that's a good question. Let's go down the list. John, what would your weapon of choice be?
I mean, I love the shotgun, but it's just so loud, You know, man, I gotta say the crossbow. I know it's the most unoriginal, you just said it, but it's just so badass and it's quiet.
Lori, what about you?
I'm gonna stick with a gun.
You like the gun?
A bow staff.
Like the Ninja Turtles?
A bow staff.
Yeah, like the Ninja Turtles.
Donatello, yeah.
Lauren, have you formed this opinion yet?
Maybe a boomerang, like a bladed boomerang.
Yeah, how do you catch it then when you throw it?
I still don't believe that boomerangs actually work. I just feel like you throw them and go, all right, let's leave. Like, I don't know. They really come back. Chandler, what's your weapon of choice?
Probably a flamethrower with a bayonet.
Yeah. Norman?
Wow.
Sword chucks.
What?
Sword chucks.
Sword chucks.
Sword chucks.
All right, guys, let's not laser eyes. Come on. What do you want?
Winged eagles.
Yeah, Desert Eagles, is that what you said?
Guys, this is not the Price is Right. Let's take it. $1. Stop. Let the man answer.
I like that I get Sean Patrick Flannery to do it. Yeah, no.
Norman and my friend Heather loved you.
Oh, hi.
All right, personally, I would go with the katana. It's nice weighted, comes out of the back. Slices off zombies, they're soft like green cheese.
First of all, Robert, I want to mention that you are the Joss Whedon of zombies because you screwed your characters so bad. But yet they still say really intriguing and really like one of my favorite characters. I haven't seen the second season yet because it's Samara, but it's Michonne. Where is Michonne? I want to see the katana because that is something you can take down zombies with.
I can't get into particulars, but all I can really say is that everyone involved in this show loves Michonne as much as you guys do and are dying to get her in the show as soon as possible. And she will definitely be appearing in the show. But we can't say when.
As long as you guys watch it, so let's also make sure we get it through the season. We've got so many great characters that we want from Robert's comic books to put in the show, so.
Well, I don't think there's any question. I mean, like, the fact that the first season was so huge and no one had seen anything like that on television before, and now what people know what the show, I mean, I don't think there's any question the second season is going to be amazing. But I think we have time for one more question. What's your name?
Okay, I gotta tell you, this is the first time, sadly, that I've seen any of this show, and I'm completely freaking
So naturally, I waited in line and got the line.
It's a cool Batman shirt, though, I gotta say.
I'm completely freaking hooked. And I think you guys are amazing. Completely hooked. And I love the cast you got, and all I wanted to say is keep doing what you're doing. And Greg, I just want to know what goes into making a zombie thing. I've heard it takes hours and hours, but
It's pretty easy, right? 4 or 5 minutes?
10 minutes. I did 5 of them while you were asking that question. About an hour and a half it takes, but you know, my shop in LA is constantly sculpting new pieces and creating new makeup, and you know, that way they always look different. You never see the same look twice.
What's some of the composition of the zombie? Just like face meat and blood? Like what's the composition?
Different, you know. Sometimes it's foam latex pieces, sometimes it's silicone and little wounds that literally let them and peel the vacuum off. And
yeah.
Throw a bunch of blood on it. And
that's awesome.
Well, literally, it's that easy.
Guys, the Avengers panel is coming up next. For The Walking Dead.